because I really feel like once you get incarcerated, you get let out, you get put on probation, and that probation tends to be a trap, because if you don't go to one of your meetings, or if you miss a UA, or if you a urinary analysis, a drug test, or if you don't show up to one of your classes at the probation offices, then you get a probation violation. Your time on probation starts over again. They put you back in jail, and you get stuck in that cycle. You just keep going back, and you make little mistakes, and it almost seems like as you're getting closer and closer to graduating probation, the harder and harder they are on you, and the closer and closer they watch you. And it's almost like they want to keep you in there. It's not like they're there, granted some probation officers are, good, and they want to help you, but it almost feels like the majority of them are working against you, not with you. And so I feel like that is probably one of the biggest and one of the hardest problems, because, don't get me wrong, I believe that we do need jails and prisons, and I do believe some people need to be incarcerated. We have these in place to protect our communities, but at the same time, I think if we focus on community unity and rehabilitation for these people, then that's where we can really make it beneficial for our entire community.
So I've got a question. It just like there's mandatory sentencing, is there mandatory probation periods? Or is that up to the judge?
It's up to the judge, but I mean, it is kind of like gray area, because there are some things that are mandatory, but they have different rules, and it's a little bit more lenient. It's a little bit more lenient than the mandatory minimums. Let's go with that.
A while back, I was talking with several people from our community, and we were looking at trying to instigate a program so that going into the jail or into the prison, we could go in and actually give some classes, basically with something you just didn't come to, but actually you had to pass a QuickBooks test, or some basic math, a GED, and then even learning how to dress for business kind of classes. And there were several classes that were all put together as a program, so that when people are incarcerated, they are actually working on something. When they come out, they can say, I wanted to turn my life around, and this is what the business community has offered. I passed this, to help them get a job, because if they come out, a lot of times, as I understand it, you come out and you also have a bill.
Yeah.
Which is really unique. You're incarcerated, and it's so many dollars a day for that exquisite cuisine that you experience. And and then you need to have that bill paid. And they get mad and they come after you if you don't pay your bill. And how do you pay that bill if you can't get somebody to hire you? And it gave the inmates something to do when they were in there to work toward their future, and it gave them, by having that, it goes to certain business people. And for instance, even with the chamber, I have about 8 businesses that I know that hire and that have volunteered to quietly say, you show me somebody that's done their time and they're trying to get their lives turned around, and we will hire these people. It's very hard for the felons and people that get out of jail to find a job, to get somebody to give them a chance. And so we're trying to put something in that way. Can you tell me if that's been implemented? If it hasn't, is there somebody I can talk to help?
Honestly, you want to fill this one?
When I was in, like I said, I've gone to this Conquest program, and so statistically, from what they told us in there, they are the most successful rehab in the state. But you have to go to prison to get it offered to you. So that confused me. Why are there not rehabs that have as good a stats as the one that's in there? Me personally, the counselor that I met in there was a huge. She made me see me, and really actually diagnosed me and figured me out. And whereas other counselors before, going through Bear River and growing up on probation in high school, I've been through some programs before that didn't work, and part of that's because I wasn't ready and I didn't want it to work at that time, which is a big deal. The inmates and people that get out need to want to change too. I mean, that's step one. So I don't know if there's some sort of, this is just my own brainstorm, idea of you get a certification when you get out of prison. That, like if you complete these programs that they have to offer, or if you get out and complete like a program similar to Tommy's, or something that gives you something then that you can attach to your resume that says, give me a chance, I'm better, or and let
It shows
people
that you
kind
cared
of,
enough, that you put the time in.
like you check the felon box and then it says see attached, and you have the right to attach, like, hey, like read, get to know me for me, like he said, judge us on our character. And so how to implement it, you're talking to the wrong person. But we can.
But do you believe that it would help?
Sure.
Oh, definitely, and that's one of my organization. We're based at Utah State University, and I graduate this year, and I would like to take my organization from the university and bring it down to the community, because I really struggle because I'm only allowed to have students as members of my group, and so I'm going to try to bring it down to the community. I've talked to members of the Cache County Jail and Bear River Drug and Alcohol, and we're going to try to implement my organization with them as well, because I think you're right. A lot of business owners, when they're looking through their applications, they see that felony instantly, they throw them away, and I think it is very important for these business owners to actually interview these ex-cons and actually judge this person based off of your interview rather than just throwing it away. Because personally, when I go and apply for a job, I can almost guarantee you I'm going to work 10 times harder than the rest of the applicants, because I got something to prove now. I know what not being able to have a job feels like, And so I definitely think that interviewing these people and getting rid of some of the application, questions would definitely help, us get interviews. Okay, we go with this lady right there.
Well, in terms of getting rid of application questions, just last week, Target as a company took off the question of whether or not you have to state if you're a felon or not, which I think is a really progressive thing for a company that large to do.
Yeah, definitely. I hadn't heard of that. Thanks for the comment. Okay, right here.
Something I just wanted to mention, I took a global anthropology of global health class, and I think I heard something like 1/3 of all inmates has a mental health problem of some sort. And so that might be something that you can expand on in your research and your stories as well. And I know that Utah specifically has a pretty unique program where they're trying to work with kind of a drug court type program, and I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but same with like mental health, similar to that program. So that might be something that makes
right, and I would agree with that. Like, I have a few members that are definitely have some mental disorders, and so that's one of the services we provide, is helping them find psychologists and counselors to help them get through them. So, yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
That's awesome. That's really amazing, because that's a really overlooked thing, and it's
I think
becoming
so,
a
too.
huge global issue. The World Health Organization is definitely addressing it as well.
Okay. Okay, one more question. Oh, you're right behind the pole. I couldn't see you.
Losing my wind back here.
Arms get tired.
Well, I didn't get arrested till I was older, and I don't have a felony, but I have misdemeanors. And, I spent my whole life being, so good, perfect citizen, and then I got arrested in my 40s several times, and I could never get a job again. And I really think nobody realizes how people just judge you big time. I mean, those applications say, have you ever had a misdemeanor, anything in the past 10 years? Even, 10 years is a long time. You can't get better in 2. It's ridiculous how society treats you after you have any kind of anything on your record. And what they're going to find out in the long run is people like all of us have to go out and make our own jobs and take over the country. We're going to be the strong people, because that's just the conclusion of when you get thrown in the bottom, you learn how to rise to the top.
Right. I
So
agree.
good for us.
All right, well, thank you for the questions and comments.
All right. Well, I was would say their concerns with not being very good speakers is false. They're great. They're great speakers. Good idea. Go talk to our legislators for sure. As always happens, we're a little bit behind.